a time of war. A war to entertain. Today, your entertainment has been hijacked. Hijacked by a clan of cheap suit-wearing ass clowns and fist-pumping douchebags. Tonight, one man will fight back. No genre, no era, just good music. Welcome to Project Friday, live on Frenzy Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Project Friday. We're coming at you live on your Friday night. Hope everybody had a good week out there. We've got a great show lined up for you.
What the hell is going on?
Who the hell is this?
It's fucking Andy Last. Who's this? Steve?
This is Project Friday, man. It's Friday night.
Dude, it is definitely not fucking Friday where I am.
Anyway, it's Project Friday. We're coming at you live on your Friday night, as we do each and every Friday.
Yeah, I'm sure you do that on Fridays, but today is Wednesday. How are you even doing this?
What do you mean, how am I doing it? It's my show. I do it every week. This is Project Friday.
Dude, this is Project Nothing, man. This is Beyond Synth.
So anyway, we've got a great show lined up for you. We've got some new stuff from Dream Fiend. We've got some new Lost Years, and I've got an exclusive track for you. You're only going to hear it here on Project Friday.
Nope. Alrighty. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cancel you out. I'm going to press this button right here. It's big and it's red. No, that's a weird thing to say. Sayonara, motherfucker. Beep. Is he gone? Good. Okay. Alrighty, sorry about that. Let's start my show. This is
ProjectFridayRadio.com.
Really? Alright, sorry about that. I guess there's some crossed wires or something, but anyways, it's time to start my show. This is Beyond...
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Synthwave Sunday. Got a great show lined up yet again. I've got some super interviews with the likes of Mitch Murder, Laserhawk,
Are
and
you fucking
Kavinsky.
kidding me? What the fuck is going on?
Who is this?
It's fucking Andy, man. This is not Synthwave fucking Sunday.
I'm telling you, this is Synthwave Sunday.
Alright, it could very well be Sunday where you are, because the fucking time zones in Australia confuse the fuck out of me, but it is not Synthwave Sunday.
Alright, anyway, I've got a great show lined up, like I was saying. I've got a special segment after the interviews, Lords of Scotland, which is the best of Scottish synthwave.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna do the fucking show, okay? One of us has got to go, so I'm just gonna fucking do this.
I'm not going anywhere. It's fucking Synthwave Sunday. Who the fuck could that be? There's a fucking kangaroo at the door. Oh, fuck. I'm surrounded. Alright, here, you bastards. Take this. Here, take this too. You bastards. Fuck you, you fucking kangaroos. No way, bastards. Fuck you. Fuck you. Die!
Alright, I hope he survives that crazy ordeal. Ridiculous. Hey there, welcome to Beyond Synth. This is episode 19. My name is Andy Last. Today on the program, I am talking to Megadrive, who makes some really kick-ass music, and we'll get to that in just a second. But first, I am going to do a little catch-up with my buddy Robin Ogden, aka OGRE, who made a post a little while ago that just made me laugh, and I really needed to talk to him about it. It's not synth-related, but it is beard-related. Here is my quick catch-up with OGRE. Hello?
How's it going?
That's all right. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Now, the reason why I wanted to do this catch-up with you was because you posted a thing which made me laugh, and I want some more detail in it. And this was not music-related, but I know lately you have been growing, if I may say, a luxurious beard.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been going for I think it's just over half a year. I think it started back in, September, October, November, December. Yeah, I think it's end of September, start of October. It's always hard to judge where you start not shaving.
And You posted some images of beard oil, which you were making.
Yep, I sure did.
Please now elaborate on
Oh dear. So beard oil was like, I decided to make some because it's like aftershave without the shaving, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So like it keeps your beard nice and soft and your skin kind of healthy.
Sorry, this whole thing is awesome.
It smells of, well, I've done two different flavors. One smells like the sort of sea breeze blowing through your beard, and then the other one smells of crushed wood and campfires. So kind of manly scents all around. But yeah, it's been good. It's been taming the beard, keeping it under control. But yeah, I made like 40 bottles, practically sold out now.
What?
It's been crazy. Like I've only posted up on Facebook like something a week and a half ago, if that, and yeah, it's all gone nearly.
So where did you get the idea to be making beard oil?
Yeah, my beard was getting a bit out of control. So I was looking around the internet, where sort of going to a couple of beard forums I found, and people were recommending beard oil and that sort of thing. And I'm a firm believer that every sort of musician should have some sort of hands-on hobby or something to take a break from screens and whatever. So I thought I'd give it a go, and then spent a little while tinkering with the formula. Yeah, it came out really well. So I've been using it now for like the past 3 months or something.
Is this something that you get a kit or something? Or is this literally from scratch? You're like putting olive oil and crushed leaves into a bottle or something?
It's pretty much from scratch. Like I can explain how the aromatherapy sort of side of it works. But essentially, like you choose a carrier oil, which is, like it makes up the bulk of the oil. So I've been using grapeseed, almond and olive, and then lots of vitamin E as well, because vitamin E, that's a pretty good vitamin right there to be putting on your face. And then from that you add sort of basically whatever you want it to smell like. So essential oils. It took a bit of trial and error to work out the ratio of like cedar smell to pine smell and those sort of scents and whatever. But yeah, it was a bit like cooking / chemistry to get it right. But yeah, it works pretty well. You put like 5 or 6 drops in your hand and then rub your hands together and put it on your face.
I don't know if maybe I had seen pictures when you had already used the beard oil, but in the photos, now this may be just the way that the pictures were changing the reality of what was going on, but your beard looks really soft.
It wasn't soft until I used the miracle beard oil. It's quite soft now. It's still not as soft as like head hair, but
it looked like head hair.
There's like a whole beard care routine I have to go through now every morning, or like every other day, depending on how lazy I feel, just to keep it manageable. It's a sort of question of conditioning it and keeping it nice and soft. But yeah, the oil definitely helps. It's been pretty good. Is the beard inspiring your music? I think so. Lots of my favorite musicians have great facial hair, or have gone through phases of great facial hair. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I was reading beard facts the other day. Apparently, your beard grows.
Sorry.
If you do nothing with it, it'll grow 5 inches a year, which is it's quite a lot of beard, really. That works out at something like, like font sizes. I don't know why they were measuring it in font sizes, but your beard grows at the equivalent of a 1-point font size a day or something. I don't know. That was a fact I read yesterday. So whether it's a standardized font size or not, I don't know.
What a ridiculous.
This is amazing.
Someone must. I'm just trying to think of how bored this guy was at like the beard forum that they're starting to measure beards and font sizes. Like what sort of...
I know.
There's so many levels of absurdity to that sentence that it just... How did you feel eventually about the final version of our collaboration, as it were, for Vincenzo?
It was amazing. I was actually in hysterics for like throughout the duration of listening to the song, and then I made my lady partner friend listen to it, and the person she was on the phone to listen to it. So Vincenzo's name and the Jack and News it's actually spreading far and wide. So sometimes I'll go down the pub or something, and somehow Vincenzo he comes up in conversation more often than not. And people, I don't know, I keep having to explain like what the Jack and News is.
I tried to,
dear.
I got him to explain it in I think the episode I did with Alpha Boy, I tried to get Vincenzo at the start to sort of describe Jacket News.
Yeah.
There's sort of a poetry to it when an Italian person who doesn't really speak English tries to explain the concept. It's just such an inside joke. That's what my whole life I've always done that. Like I'll put work into something that's literally designed to entertain like 5 people. Now obviously this time you did the music, so I mean it was already a track that you made, which was a cool track. But I was happy with. I know I sent you that first version.
Yeah.
But I think what I added at the end, I think, is now like my favorite bit of the song.
Yeah,
which is the do you know what I mean or whatever, like at the end.
Is it raining outside tonight? Is it warm enough to put the top down on my ride? I don't want my lady getting wet. At least not yet. If you know what I mean.
I think we should work towards a concept, like some sort of concept album about the Jacket News, or just Vincenzo. Vincenzo might do. I mean, we've already got. You did that track beforehand. Then there's the one you and I did. I know Mike did the.
Yeah, it could be easily an EP with like 2 more. I think I'm going to write 1 more.
Yeah.
And round it out as a trilogy.
Yeah.
Although I do fear the law of diminishing returns, so I'm debating whether or not I should.
Yeah, I mean the 2 you've done so far have been pretty perfect. So, but yeah, I reckon some sort of Vincenzo style album's probably on the cards at some point. We can give it to him for his birthday whenever that is.
That's the best part. I don't really know that much about him. That's the best part of this.
No, I don't either.
Whenever I know, because I'll get people just like, who just find the whole concept really strange. Someone made a funny comment where it's just like, you made another one? Like, when are you going to make the song like Strange International Love Affair or something like this? Like, because I can't explain it, right? Like, there's no. To me, I sometimes just latch on to just really ridiculous jokes that it's hard for me to explain. I think like even like Sunglasses Kid, I was talking to, and he's just like, why do you love Vincenzo? And I'm like,
how can you not?
I'm just like, there's just something about him. It's like, there's some, I think he's so like jovial or something. There's something.
He is. And if you tweet Vincenzo, he will give you Jacket News. I haven't done it in a while because it hasn't been like, it's only been sort of winter, hasn't it, really? But now it's spring. I'll get some spring jacket recommendations. I went through a phase last year. It was about this time last year. I think, summertime, something like that. Just tweeting him pretty much daily, like, what kind of jacket should I wear today? Here's today's weather. What do you reckon?
He needs to develop an app.
Yeah. Now that would be amazing. It aggregates your local weather and your wardrobe, and Vincenzo automatically picks one out for you.
It's a good idea. We should copyright that.
I know a couple of guys who make apps. I'm actually,
But anyways, man, it was good. It was good catching up with you. Are you gonna make more beard oil? Is that a thing, or are you done?
Yeah, I think I probably will actually. Mainly because I've sold out pretty quick at the first run, so there definitely seems to be a very niche market for it. I was thinking of doing another blend, but I'm not sure quite of what yet. I was toying with the idea of doing something with sort of, because the one sort of woody smell and the other one sort of sea breezy. The sea breezy one's been a little less popular because I think people kind of want manly outdoors smell sort of thing. So I was thinking maybe opium, musk.
Opium? What does that even smell like? Is that the idea? Like, if you want a nice soft beard, but you want to feel like you've just come out of a Chinese opium den. I mean, like, what's the...
We'll see. I'll keep you posted.
I'm just picturing all the wacky scenarios of just, hey man, it's good to see you. Have you been smoking opium? So what, do you brand it?
Yeah, I've been what am I calling it? Manly man beard oils.
You're missing an opportunity here for cross promotion.
Yeah.
OGRE beard oils. OGRE.
Oh yeah. Should have thought of that. Maybe I could do like a limited edition OGRE bottle. I don't know what it'd smell of, but...
And then it comes with like a free download of like a track or something.
Yeah, I could print a download code out or something, and then that'd be good. And cross promotion.
I feel like one of those dudes in suits, like talking about synergy. Like it's, you put your face on the beard oil, man. You've got the album, you got the EP, you got the download codes. All you need now is to release like some sort of ogre tie and baseball cap and a jacket. Alpha Boy's wife made him a jacket.
I know, I saw. It looks really awesome.
So maybe we can hit her up to make some ogre jackets.
That'd be cool.
But anyways, man, it was it was good talking to you.
You too, man.
And maybe we'll do an update whenever one of your fucking albums actually comes out.
Yeah, that'd be Yeah, thanks for having me, Andy.
Yeah, you have a lovely day, man.
You too. Take care.
Alrighty, that was Robin Ogden, aka Ogre. He's a really talented musician and also now an entrepreneur with a budding beard oil business. I wish him well on his future endeavors. And now, here is my chat. And now, here is my chat with Megadrive. So how you doing?
Oh, a bit tired, but I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Just tidying up the house a bit.
How's the weather up there?
Fucking cold as hell. I was trying to spray paint a model ship because I'm trying to make like a music video and I want there to be like a spaceship in it. Mm-hmm. And I can't do the spray painting inside because I'm going to inhale a bunch of paint, and I can't do it outside because it's too fucking cold. When I say I'm building a model ship, that means I've taken an already made model ship and gluing circuits to it.
Whatever works, you know. Everything costs such an arm and a leg today, so if you can get by doing it yourself, then more power to you.
That's if I get by doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what the end result is. Let's just piece of shit on a string or something. I'm here today with Megadrive.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So you make some really kick-ass music. You are also an elusive fellow. So I was wondering if you could tell me your exact address, full name, SIN number. You have SIN numbers in the States, right? Like the social insurance number?
We have a social security number.
I think it's the same thing. Like you need it to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll need that.
I could tell you that, but then I have to make you disappear for a while.
Well, that's kind of you. If it's only for a while, that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you might come back.
I just like further peeling the onion of the joke, you know what I mean? Like it starts out like, well, he's going to kill him. Well, he's going to let him live. Or maybe he did die and he's come back as a ghost. It's all...
Yeah, well, there's more than one way of living. Let's just put it at that. So. You'll still be hooked up to an oxygen tank or something.
Well, that's cool, man. I'll be like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, there you go.
Because he's got that tank. Well, not quite like Mr. Freeze, but...
Wasn't that the worst of the movies?
Yes. Although the Arnold puns are great. I think there's a YouTube video that just collages all the puns together, and they're awesome.
Yeah, that is quite a trip.
What I love is just how shitty it actually is. Like, it transcends in a way, because when you watch like the one-liners and Arnold's one-liners, they're so bad. They're not even jokes or puns necessarily. They're just weird comments that have the word freeze in them.
In this universe, there's only one absolute. Everything freezes.
I guess that's mostly the writer's fault.
I'm sure if you gave me a day, I could come up with some pretty good freeze puns. Mm-hmm. You forget, when they're like Hollywood writers, these are professional people whose job it is to write. You have him shooting his gun at Batman saying, you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. I don't even get that one. Like, whenever I know, because they were in the museum and he kind of shot at a Tyrannosaurus skeleton, but it's still not like a cool pun or anything. One of his puns was, hey, Batman, it's a cold town. Like, that's not even a play on words or like an expression. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a statement.
It's a cold town. Like, what? Okay.
It's a cold town.
I don't know if you're a big fan of Ninja Turtles or not.
Yeah, I just looked at those images.
Yeah?
It's probably going to be like a stupid film, but you can't really be upset by those because they look pretty good to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But even before that, have you heard of Dave Raposa? He did artwork for Skull and Shark, one of his comics. He also works with Laserhawk. I'm not sure if you are familiar with that.
I'm not aware of that dude, no.
Yeah, go look at his work, and he actually did, I think, all the characters from Ninja Turtles, or at least all the prominent ones. And they're phenomenal. They're so kick-ass. But if you look at them and then look at the new pictures from the movie, like I think he should get some credit for that, because it's pretty striking. I mean, it's not like full on like copy, but just the style of the concept art, I think, is really reminiscent of his.
You couldn't do anything in a situation like that, could you? Because I mean, if you're drawing a picture of an already copyrighted work, you can't really have any claim to it.
I guess you just have to bite the bullet and just hope that, you know, people see, hey, that was out before, you know, the movie was out. So disclaimer, I'm not saying that this movie copied anyone. I'm just saying that there's some similarities there, definitely. I mean, I grew up with the movies and definitely the cartoons. Was definitely a 90s kid. For me personally, the first movie will always be the best. They just got the grittiness of it, and they balanced it with the goofiness of the cartoon like so well.
I remember there was this show that was on where I lived, and it was just this, I think it was called Prisoners of Gravity, and it was just a dude who just showed up and coming like comic book things and bits of movie trailers and stuff, because I didn't have cable, so, you know, I remember they showed the trailer for Ninja Turtles, and I still, to this day, just remember, like, that to me is almost more in my brain than the actual film was.
Yeah, I could see that.
I still have that thing in my head, we've been looking for you, Miss O'Neill.
Yes, yeah.
That's been, like, burned into my brain.
Orokusaki. Yes.
We've been looking for you, Miss O'Neill.
There's so many great things about that movie that I loved. You know, and I think the thing that stands out the most is the way it looked. For some reason, maybe it's just because we're slowly moving out of film and into digital.
Yeah.
It's almost complete. I guess, you know, just looking at 35 millimeter film is just something really to behold. It's like little things like the way the light played off of the wet concrete, you know, like in the beginning when Miss O'Neill gets attacked, you know. And like you see, you know, Raphael looking from the sewer cover, looking at his sai, you know.
Yeah! I love being a turtle!
Anyways, man, let's talk a bit about Megadrive, which is you.
Yeah, that's me.
Let's start with the name here. We talking Sega or what?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was definitely a Sega baby. That was my first console. When I got that was probably one of the best days of my life, because it came with Sonic, like the first game.
Yeah.
And I played the shit out of that game, like, for years and years.
Even though they sort of improved the gameplay in the later ones, and I remember I think I was talking to Vincenzo Salvia about this, was I still love the music in the first Sonic, I think, better than... Even though, like, Part 2 does have cool music, but I always loved the boss music in Sonic. Yeah, it's awesome. And the final battle is great, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I always loved how epic the final battle music was.
Although I think in the second one, they stepped it up big time. Not necessarily, I mean, for the music, but for the final battle. I mean, you go into space. How cool is that?
Of the best sequels of, you know, in video game history or whatever, like Sonic 2 definitely did, like, step it up. Like, the game looked better, it played better, it was longer, like, it was everything you want out of a sequel.
And you can spin dash.
Yeah.
when you wanted to.
Plus, it had that fucking debug code where you could, like, turn yourself into any object in the level and just put it down, and then that was amazing.
I would always turn into the rings. I mean, I think that was on the first one, too. I think they were in all three of them, the debug code anyways.
No, I don't think the first one did.
There was one on the third one, which was like the hardest damn code to ever do, because it was like you had to wait right when the Sega logo started to change. You see like a bright white flash of light, and that's when like Sonic comes into view.
It's like 3D, like a ball like flying at the screen, right?
Yeah, and you had to do it like at that point in time, and it was like up, up, down, down, up, 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 down, down, up, something like that. It was like insane.
Right, you're right.
Right at that moment.
Yeah, because I think part 1, that wasn't the hard one. Part 2, I think, was just you had to play songs in a certain order in the sound test.
Yes. whenever I went to the grocery store with my mom, I would, like all the other kids that probably, are our age, zoom right to the magazine section.
Yeah.
Because that's where, we didn't have all this awesome technology where you can just look up anything that you ever wanted to. Like, we had to scour for information.
I mean, at least in the stores that I went to, they used to keep EGM in the fucking plastic. Mm-hmm. So it was in that kind of baggie. Mm-hmm. And that used to piss me off because I just wanted to go in there and see the codes or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, man, I would just rip it open and then take it out and put it back in. Yeah. I didn't care, sometimes I would, later on, like when I got into PlayStation, because like I went straight from Sega to PlayStation. I played Nintendo and NES or Super NES and N64, but it was other people's systems. My systems were Sega and then PlayStation.
Right.
And when I started getting into PlayStation, this is kind of bad, but I would actually go to like the magazine racks, and if they had like a demo disc in it, I'd steal that. That thing was mine.
Yeah, I forgot about those.
There is no demo disc anymore. It's crazy how you like stop and think about how many things that are not anymore.
Yeah. I have an older brother, so he owned a lot of systems. Like, he would just kind of buy one and then trade it in and get a different one. So we had a Nintendo, and then he had a Commodore 64, and then a TurboGrafx 16, and then a Sega Genesis. And when I started buying systems for myself, I was a Nintendo person at that point. Like, when I finally made the decision, like, I'm going to buy a video game system, I picked up a Super Nintendo, and then I sort of went the Nintendo route. Mm-hmm. But I always enjoyed trading systems with people.
Really?
Yeah, like get a buddy who had a Sega and a bunch of games, and I'd trade the Super Nintendo for like a weekend and like play Sega and stuff. That was always fun for me.
I was really loyal to what system I was playing. Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, obviously it exists now with the Xbox fans and the PlayStation fans. I just, I never was really there. I just liked playing good games. Like, I never had an issue with, other people's systems. Like, if there was good games on them, like, we'd just play them. Mm-hmm. Every system has something to offer, I mean, even during the time when PlayStation started to really rise up and Nintendo started to kind of
peter out, yeah.
Like GoldenEye was still a party game of choice if someone had an N64 there. It was just easy to pick up and play if there was a bunch of controllers. Like, PlayStation didn't really have that sort of appeal, but it was more of a, if you're into playing like hardcore serious games by yourself kind of thing, like that's where they had.
See, that was me. Mm-hmm. Not to sound too dramatic or whatever, but I guess I was somewhat of a loner. It was me in the video game, for sure, for countless hours and for years. So I really didn't have any interest in those kind of party games because I didn't have anyone to party with. I mean, because video games are still, I guess in the grand scheme of things, they're pretty much still way in their infancy. I've always thought that maybe one day there's just going to be one console.
I think we're actually just heading to no console.
That too.
Basically just streaming games. Like, that will be the future, where smart TVs with a fast enough internet connection, all you need is a controller, and literally you can just play video games like you watch Netflix. It wouldn't matter how powerful the system was because it would just be streaming a video signal from like a supercomputer somewhere. I still don't quite understand how that works, but
I think looking far into the future, maybe one day, not to be cliche because of the Matrix, but I mean, will we just jack in one day? Will it all take place in our minds?
Well, we'll certainly jack off. I'm Andy Last.
Yeah, that'll never leave us, ever.
What's probably going to happen is the systems are going to become like Netflix and Hulu. You'll pay $100 a year to have Xbox app on your TV, and you'll spend, $100 to be a PlayStation app. I mean, it might even work in their favor. You might actually get more money. Like if it's like an app, you constantly have to like pay a yearly fee for to like play the games. I bet you that's exactly where it's going to go. I still think like injecting games into your brain is probably a good 30 years away, I imagine.
If that, probably even more. If that even happens at all.
I still think we'll be playing with controllers for a while, but it'll be like how you receive the games, I guess.
That kind of leads into what I try to portray in Megadrive, at least in my mind, especially for the album Hardwired. Because in my mind, like, when I was writing the songs, I kind of didn't have like a theme to them. It kind of only happened when I would name the songs, and then especially when I structured the album after I had written the songs. It's definitely like my take on where we're headed.
Right.
Because I see technology as our evolution, or another form of evolution, if you believe in that. I mean, we're already starting to see it with people like amputees.
Oh, did you see that video?
Was it the hand or the leg?
The hand. It was like that soldier who lost his arm. I mean, it's still like bionics in its infancy, but he has like a hand now that he like closes because they attach electrodes inside his arm to nerve endings or something.
Yes, yeah.
And he can like rotate the hand and like close just the thumb and I mean, it's still like kind of basic, but it's still cool. Like he's doing it with his mind.
It's a start, definitely.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think there's like another guy who has like a bionic leg, and there's like absolutely nothing to it. There's like no wires, no nothing. He controls it all by his mind, and it's like he didn't lose anything. It's really hopeful for the future, I think, and it's really interesting and fascinating, this coming merger between technology and our human biology.
Well, that seems to be sort of a theme that runs through like the artwork on your albums. I'm thinking specifically of like the skull with like the wires in it.
Yeah, hardwired. Yeah.
I think I'm going to sort of rewind a bit to sort of tackle some of your stuff in order. So let's talk a bit about VHS.
That was my first attempt at this project. I've said it before, like in another written interview, Power Glove, when I first heard Night Force, I was like, not in an arrogant way whatsoever, but to myself, I was kind of like, I could do that. And so I set out to make a track, and it turned out all right. So I was kind of like, okay, well, I'll keep going with that. And that first track that I made was Neo Tokyo 2019, which is definitely Akira inspired.
What's interesting is even though you typically have like this sort of fast tempo to your tracks and these sort of like quick bass lines and stuff, I think my favorite track from VHS is Night Prowl.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think that's a song that often gets overlooked.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
That's weird. I literally was having this conversation with Droid Bishop about how it seems to me like my taste in songs is always the expected. Like every time I like tell somebody like, oh, that was my favorite track, they always come back with, yeah, that's everyone's favorite track. Like that's, you know what I mean? I always pick the single, you know, whenever I like have a favorite song on an album, it always ends up being the single.
To be honest, I thought Total Control was my favorite, or one of my favorites. But I think the song that first started taking off was Electric Getaway.
Right.
The last song. I know for a fact because like new Retrowave, they make a lot of videos of my songs, and I can tell that Electric Getaway, that was like one of the first to start getting a lot of views. But yeah, I always thought that Night Prowl, I can't be a fan and like the creator at the same time, so I can't really judge or distinguish what's popular of mine and what's not. Like I can only go to like external resources to see that. But I like that song a lot. Yeah. I shouldn't say this because it's probably going to make you look at the song a little differently. But the very beginning was a screw up. Or, because I meant for it just to go one flat, but when I exported it, and I guess I just didn't check well enough, but it was, it's doing that up and down weird thing. I kind of just went with it.
I believe in the magic in art. Sometimes there's things that just sort of happen.
Yeah.
And you get to take credit for it as the artist.
But then, like, every time I listen to it, I know that was, in my mind, a mistake. And so I have to live with it.
Before you were doing the electronic stuff, my understanding is, and this is the only piece of information I was able to find about Megadrive, is that you were once in a metal band.
Yes, I was, if you could call us metal. We were kind of like a mix of genres and whatnot, but that's all I'm going to say about that. I will say that I did play guitar in it, though.
Well, it seems to be like a route that is taken. Like a lot of people that I've talked to, they have like a history of being in a band, also too, like in a different genre, and then they decide they want to have more control over their music and do stuff on their own, and then...
Is it that noticeable, the having control kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I completely understand. I mean, it's when you're working with other people, you have to... work with other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it until I didn't. I don't know how to put it. I kind of just got burned out on it.
Yeah.
Tried touring. It was an adventure and it was fun, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do again, at least not in that form.
Right.
Being in a band. Sometime in the future, I do want to make Megadrive like a live thing as well.
You gonna wear a helmet? We're playing into the whole anonymity thing, I'm thinking.
Maybe. Maybe not. But probably maybe.
Go dressed as Batman.
I am Batman.
Well, you know the old saying. The old saying is this.
What is the old saying?
Futurescape was the first one I heard of yours when I was discovering the scene and searching around for stuff. This was tricky because I was listening to all of your tracks, and I think I like everything.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
So it was hard for me to sort of narrow it down. Like, I like all sorts of, different genres within the synthwave and like retro 80s scene. Like I like the synth pop. I like all that stuff. What I like about your music is it really sort of fuels me creatively to I like writing to it. I feel like there's a lot of action and energy in your music. If you want to sit down and write some really dark science fiction kind of action thing, your music is like the fucking perfect soundtrack for it. When I listen to it, like it just energizes me to just come up with cool ideas.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Futurescape is a wicked song. So that was the first one I came across, and I was like, what a neat song. I thought it was just a really atmospheric, would make an awesome music for the start of a film. I'm always thinking in terms of film, so like whenever I hear music, I'm always imagining like the images that would go along with it, and it's just such a cool song just to picture like title credits, and almost, I always use the artwork that the artist provides to sort of help me paint the picture of what the music is saying. And so like I picture that city, that's your cover art.
And I have to say credit goes to the amazing Jared Hageman, who is an awesome artist and did that cover art, which is just phenomenal.
And is that what you sort of had envisioned when you were making it?
When I was talking to him first about it, I definitely wanted there to be a city. One of the ideas that I had was like someone on a motorcycle, but it's kind of like from the waist down, sitting on the motorcycle with maybe the right leg on the ground, looking at the city in the distance. And then I was like, you know what? It's fine if we just have the image of a city. And when he sent back what he like made, I was just in awe. I was like, are you kidding me? How did you do that? That's absolutely incredible. And then he went even a step further and he made like a little teaser video where he actually took what he made and made it like 3D almost. Like the video started with like you're zooming in to the city as if you were going into the album art itself. And it's like raining and stuff. It was just incredible.
I haven't seen that. I should go see that.
He went above and beyond on that one because I was already thrilled with the cover art. And then he made it come alive with the title track playing with the rain falling. It was just incredible. Like,
that sounds awesome.
You should really go check that out. It's on YouTube somewhere. I had no intention when I was making it, but after the fact, when I listened to it as a whole, and after repeated listenings to it, I kind of realized that to me, in my mind, it kind of had a flow, like a story flow.
Right.
In the fact that Futurescape was like this guy coming to this dark and gritty city. It was like the introduction of this city. It's all vague, like even to me, like there was nothing like no story or anything. It was just kind of like it brought to mind there could have been a story or like you can make your own story. Mm-hmm. Pulse of the Streets was like something bad happened on the streets of the city, and then it went into Star Runner, so like maybe he took off into space or something. Like we want to think like this is the future, and then maybe he goes to a planet called Vector Prime, and then he's like, take me home, I don't know. I kind of just see that. I don't know if anyone else does, but I think that's kind of cool how I didn't even mean for that to happen, but it just came about that way.
What is Central Track?
Central Track is a online magazine or a blog of some sort that details everything that's going on in Dallas and the surrounding cities, be it different things that are happening, places to eat, and especially like music, live music that's going on.
Right.
They hit me up and was like, we want to give you an interview. Is that cool? And I was like, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I gave my first interview with them.
They also had like a chart though, right?
For like the end of the year. They had like a top 50 voted tracks locally around Dallas, and awesomely picked my track Maniac as the 23rd best track. So that was really cool. I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure.
So tell me a bit about Hardwired.
That was my first album, like full, complete album. And when Hardwired came out, I was on Future City Records. I had been for Futurescape and Hardwired. So I put those two CDs out through them.
I mean, I can definitely hear how your sound sort of evolved, I think, with this particular album.
Yeah.
With After Image, I mean, that's a cool atmospheric track.
After Image was actually an old thing that I made for the band that I used to be in.
And that band was called what?
It was called what? How did you know? That's so awesome that you figured out the band name.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So what's your address again? I mean, if you were to say, you know, the number that's on the front of your house and what street that it would be on, what would you say? Like, what would be the answer to that?
The number of the house is 666.
Satan Lane.
Yeah, definitely.
When the album goes on, Completely Circuitry, this was sort of the first one I noticed, like, oh, like you were kind of getting into some different tempos and beats.
Yeah, I don't know what that song was about. It had been a while since I had started like writing anything for Megadrive. I believe at the time I was like focused on film work. I also like to dabble in film myself, and so I was working on a short film.
Do you plan on like using your music to score things you work on?
Possibly. I definitely have put a hold on any film stuff and kind of put Megadrive at the forefront for now, at least. It's just, I've come to realize that film it takes a lot of factors are in play and a lot of things have to go right.
Yes.
For anything to come together. And this is just way easier to do, to be honest. It's less stressful, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I do shorts and I help friends of mine who make short films and stuff. And it's a lot of work and you got to spend a lot of time doing something that can also be just as quickly disregarded or, you know what I mean? Like, I think Hardwired might be my personal favorite. As I'm listening, although the Megadrive, like self-titled Megadrive one's pretty kick-ass. Well, they're all awesome.
And for everyone that's listening, I did not pay Mr. Last to say these nice things.
But if you were to write me a check, what's the name you'd sign on it?
Mr. Fluffy.
Throughout the thing, right, you started getting into these sort of different kind of beats, different kind of sort of interesting bass lines, like in the track, like Ruthless.
That was a strange one for sure, like completely circuitry. I really don't know what the hell I was thinking. Let's just put it that way.
And Mainframe, which I really like, and it's got that sort of interesting sort of tune with the pitch bending happening in it.
To me, it's like some sort of like Western Asian thing going on.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I think what's cool about it is I haven't really heard another song in the scene that has that kind of sound in it. Of course, Data Line is kick-ass.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the favorites. I kind of use like SoundCloud and YouTube, especially for like new Retrowave. I usually go off of like how many views, but I mean, that's the only real way I can gauge it.
Right.
Which songs are like people like the most. And it was Data Line for a long time until I'm the Program came out of nowhere. And people seem to like that a lot.
Hardwired is also awesome.
Oh, thank you. That like Night Prowl, I think no one really knows about. In my opinion, that's why I named it that, because I thought it like, man, this is a kick-ass song. I think it's going to be like the one that gets people's attention and stuff. But no.
Well, that's the way it works, man. How would you define your music?
I usually just say awkwardly, like, it's the 80s sci-fi futuristic vision of what the future was going to be. It's music that people would be listening to in the 80s movie version of the future. Or I just say like 80s inspired electronic music. That seems to be easier.
Do you use the word horror or dark?
Not really, because after listening to like Carpenter Brute and Ghost, like I don't think mine's hard enough or dark enough.
What was 333 about?
I had made a song about the movie The Gate.
I've never seen it, but I know what it is, right? That's where the kids get some demons come out of their house or something?
There's a hole in the backyard of like the main kid's house, who happens to be Steven Dorff. They inadvertently like summon demons and they start coming out of the ground and they just start wreaking havoc everywhere. And like I did the same thing with Maniac, because that was Halloween inspired. And I had always remembered this horror film from watching it, back in the day. So I decided to, go for it and do it. And so 3:33, it's either 3 a.m., which is the witching hour, or 3:33. I kind of just chose 3:33 because it kind of looked cool. I'm not sure if that's the real witching hour or not, but
whatever.
I thought it was cool. So, yeah, I did that for Halloween because I love Halloween.
Did you dress up?
This last Halloween, there was just a party at my apartment. Friends came over, and I think I wore a gas mask.
I haven't dressed up for Halloween in, shit. How long has it actually been? I've been holding out because I really want to go as, like, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
But I want it to be a good costume. Like, I don't want it to be like the shitty one that they started selling or whatever. Like, I want, like, a nice homemade kick-ass costume with the fucking white contact lenses and a fucking spear on a rope and stuff. I don't know, it's weird, like, because in the newer games, they've taken Scorpion in a slightly different direction. He's very, like, armored looking now, but I'm thinking more, like, simpler classic Scorpion. But,
like from the first one?
Yeah, like the first and the second, and, but, with a little bit more detail on it or whatever. But but I just never had the drive to work on the costume, and then every year I just sit there going, like, well, I'm only going to go a Scorpion or nothing. Not that I'm going to go out trick-or-treating, but I mean, well, I've got a kid, right? Like,
you trick-or-treat through your kid.
Yeah.
You make them go up to the thing and get the candy, and then you make them bring it back to you.
That's exactly what I do. And then as Scorpion, I would, like, have his candy bag, like, tied to a rope, so that once he gets the candy from the door and do the, come here, and fucking pull it back.
Or, like I said, you could just have your kid go get the candy and then scream out to them, come here.
Oh, yeah, that works too. I'll just have him on a rope. Well, no, you know what I do? I get my son to dress up like the Spear. Actually, that's a fucking funny idea now that I think about it.
Except when you actually pull him and then he falls on his face and you drag him.
No. He'd fall on his back. We'd like weigh the thing down so he'd fall backwards and there'd be like a soft sort of cushiony thing in the back of the Spear. That would be fucking hilarious. I would stand on the fucking curb and I would say, like, get over here. And then, like, my son would, like, slowly walk towards the person's house and then come here and pull him back.
The neighbors are just, like, looking in horror as you're dragging this child to you with candy.
Well, no, I could, like, when I could carry him around, like, around my belt. I would just, like, get, like, a thing so, like, I could support his weight and then, like, have him at the side and then throw him at the houses to collect candy. It's a great idea. It's the best idea that's ever happened.
You should patent that idea.
Yeah.
You should make, like, a combo costume, like, the adult scorpion costume that comes with the Spear Kid costume.
I don't know. I think this brings us right back to that Ninja Turtles thing. I don't know if, I could do that.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Mortal Kombat people just be like, hey, look at this awesome idea we thought of. The fucking carry your kid along as a spear costume. I'm like, fuck you, I made that. And be like, no, you didn't. And I wouldn't be able to sue them.
Well, then you find out where they live.
If this interview is any indication, I'm not good at finding out where people live. It's not one of my skills. Get over here! Tell me about Megadrive. Self-titled album, Megadrive.
Yeah, that was a bit more of a experimentation in sound.
Activate Your Steel is such a cool song title. Is that from something?
That actually is, and I don't know if I want to say where it's from because...
Will that somehow give away your address? Do you live at fucking 55 Activate Your Steel Lane?
Yeah, I do. You're really good at this.
So we can probably slowly start to wrap it up. I was going to say about Megadrive, the album Megadrive anyway, that it's cool.
Oh, thank you.
And Converter is a cool song.
Thank you.
I think the thing I like about your music is that a lot of your songs just start off really strong, right off the gate. The second the song starts, it immediately just jumps right into this cool fucking electronic bass line. And I really dig that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think that's become a signature, something that I do, or that's just something that I fall back on. How I structure the song, and maybe I'll start with some sort of bass line, make it interesting sounding. But I've noticed that I do that quite a bit in my songs. It's oh, this song needs something. Oh, I'll just do a bass riff and make it interesting sounding. And I don't know, I tend to experiment a lot with the different sounds that I can make. I really like diversity.
Like racial diversity?
Yes, racial diversity, gender diversity. Then we can live as one.
Is there something coming up in 2014, Megadrive wise?
Yeah, there might be some things that I can't talk about.
That's even better than a thing you can't talk about is the thing that's coming up that you might not be able to talk about. Or something that might be coming up that you can't talk about.
It's just total confusion and vagueness, That's the Megadrive experience.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, what is a thing that you might be able to not talk about? I'm just thinking about what that even means, like, theoretically.
I have no idea.
Hey, where do you park your car? Do you park your car in the Megadrive way?
I see what you did.
And if you were to park in a Megadrive way, what would the address be of the house attached to it?
Megadrive Drive.
This has been a fun game for everyone.
Yes, I enjoyed it too.
Anyways, buddy, I hope you have a lovely day or evening.
You too.
We'll fucking talk to you soon. And I'm excited to hear upcoming
about the nothingness?
Megadrive. Yes.
Hey, keep an eye out for the nothingness that will probably not be happening at any time in the future.
But if it did, you wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Goodbye.
And that was Megadrive. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please tune into the next one. As always, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at AndyLast. And you can also like the Facebook page. That would be cool. That's Facebook.com/Beyond Synth. And what else? I also started a video game review show on YouTube. It's called Completely Legal Game Reviews. And we review games bypassing all of YouTube's weird content restrictions by not actually showing any footage, but showing really shitty pictures and terrible recreations of the games that we are reviewing. So that's fun, or it's not. You might think it's terrible. Who knows? And on that note, I gotta go. So please tune in to the next episode of Beyond Synth. And in the meantime, I haven't done this in a while. Let's end the show with a little bit of a kick-ass song from Megadrive. This is Data Line. Look, dude, I'm going to start my fucking show, so one of us has got to go. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden, you're sorry.
I love the accent.
Sorry.
Your accent. Oh, shit. I'm not going anywhere.